Come back at 6, wake me and your child, and then won't lay today. Make me wonder who you might have been playing with. Makes me wonder who you think.
Hey, cyber friends, good morning, good afternoon. Whenever you're seeing this, it's afternoon. Well, no, it's still morning. Okay, girl, it's 10:20. I did get up at a decent time today, but I took my time getting up, feeling the motions, having some little me time to myself. I've been a little tired lately, again, but we're pushing through. We're still going even when we're tired. You know what I'm saying? You still got to show up for yourself. You still got to love yourself. You don't just get to have days off, but you could take it easy, take it slow. So I am on the way to the gym. I have therapy today, so I am going to do all the things that I need to do, go to therapy. There's a couple of groceries that I need to get after I leave the gym, and I'll go get those. And then when I come home, it'll probably be time for therapy, and then I'll do some work, do some editing, and then we'll continue with the rest of our day. So sorry to be short with you, girl, but I got things to do. I got places to be, places to go. So let's get it. Bye. We're in the gym, so you already know how I'm starting off. Cardio, most important to get the heart rate up. I start on my incline and do my walk for however long I do my walk. And then I calm my heart down a little bit. And then I go straight into running for a couple of minutes. And by the time all of that is finished and done, your girl is ready to get off of there. All right. I've been sweating real hard. I've been wearing my sweat belt lately. I've been adding, extra little resistance to it. I think I'm starting to not even feel the weight that's on my chest. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. Will I go up on weights? I don't know. We'll see, girl. But we gonna make do what we can. I do have little ankle weights that I could also put on, but we'll see. I've been adding these. I actually really like calf raises, but boy, had me shaking like a stripper. And I don't quite know what this is called, but I seen some girl on TikTok do it, and it's targeting a muscle that allegedly I'm trying to target. So I'm gonna keep doing it. And again, I want to fire back because I really do want to get my spine tattooed this summer. I have no clue what I'm going to get because I am a picky girl. I do not want words. I do not want flowers. I do not want something big. I want something cute and dainty, real girly like, and I just haven't seen anything that calls to me. And Auntie been struggling a little bit when it comes to the legs, especially doing these little movements here. If you can't see it, because it's been blended in, because it's black also. But I got my little knee bands on, my little knee braces, honey. Auntie's knees has been acting up. That's why I'm moving slow doing these. But I've been loving these too. It's something about hitting that side part of that butt. You have my little legs on fire. And when I get this peach, how I want this peach, it's going to be all worth it. So I'm not even tripping about it. I love burning my body and my muscles every day at this gym, okay? And I've been burning my little sides because, again, I got a little muscle imbalance when it comes to my obliques. And I want evenness on both sides. Like, if you're going to be chubby on both sides. If you're going to be small on both sides. But it's like one side is slimmer than the other one. And I don't really like that. I already have one leg that's a little bit longer than the other. One boob that's a little bit bigger than the other. One of my eyes is a little bit bigger than the other. Like, please, let me have symmetry somewhere on this body. And again, I've been really enjoying these. And I actually like this variation way more than sitting there and using, my shoulders as the rest on the bench. I feel like this hurts way less. And again, I done stole little Izzy stuff, boy. I ain't been playing when it came to these. Like, when I say be having my legs on fire, the front, the back, the side, but I love it. Again, it just feels so good when you working out your body. If that's what you into. If you're not really into that and you hate sweating and you hate feeling different parts of your body being activated and stuff like that, nah, it ain't gonna feel good to you. But for those of us that's trying to work, we messing with it. We mess with it. And that band right there is my band that has the most resistance to it. I'm like, let me turn it up a notch because I've been doing the one that's like medium resistance, but I went full-fledged all the way with doing what I need to do. And so again, I'm doing full body. I know a lot of people suggest not to do that, but again, I'm highly motivated, and it's like my body and my brain is on turbo mode. So I don't care that I'm exhausting myself. I'm going to do this for 30 days. And then when my challenge is done, I'm still going to work out and stuff. I'm going to switch back to just doing 5 times a week so I can start giving my body a little bit of a rest. And again, I've been trying to add, different stuff in there, not just strictly going to the gym. I'm going to do another aerial class and things of that nature. And then it's starting to get just a tad bit warmer outside, almost springish kind of weather to where I can start going to the lake and doing my little jogs, my little walk at the lake how I want to. So I'm gonna be adding some variation in. So please don't think that just because you ain't gonna be seeing me consistently posting my gym stuff that it ain't getting done, that we ain't done what we need to do. I promise you, I'm on a mission and I will complete my mission. Amen. All right, y'all, we are heading back to the Michelle Obama book. We are still in that section that has to do with your differences. I am skipping one of the pages because the activity has to do with like drawing, and obviously I'm not gonna sit here and describe to y'all what y'all need to draw, and I'm not about to sit here and draw. Baby, I can barely do stick figures. Let's go ahead and skip to the next part of that. My father, whose shaky demeanor and foot-dragging limp, brought on by multiple sclerosis, sometimes caused people to stop and stare at him on the street, used to tell us with a smile and a shrug, no one can make you feel bad if you feel good about yourself. It was a brilliantly simple maxim, and for him, it seemed to work. My dad could shrug off nearly anything. He was good with himself, clear about his own worth, centered despite being physically unbalanced. I don't know exactly how he got to this place or what sort of lessons he had to learn along the way, but he somehow had figured out how to live unburdened by the judgment of others. This quality in him was so vivid, I swear you could spot it from across a room. It drew people toward him. It surfaced as a kind of ease, and not the ease that comes from privilege or wealth, but from something different. It was ease despite struggle, ease despite uncertainty. It was ease from within. It made him noticeable, visible in all the right ways. This was the source code to his strength. He made a point of not holding on to pain or embarrassment, knowing that it wasn't likely to serve him, recognizing that there was a certain power in being able to shake things off and letting certain moments go. He understood the unfairness was there, but he refused to be brought down by it, accepting that much of it was not in his control. Instead, he measured his value by who he was and what he had loved: community, food in the fridge, 2 tall, noisy kids, and friends knocking on his door. He saw these things as success and as a reason to keep going. It was evidence he mattered. How you view yourself becomes everything. It's your foundation, the starting point for changing the world around you. I learned that from him. My father's visibility helped me to find my own. Whatever the signals and spaces that weren't welcoming to me were, whether people saw me as different or unentitled to be there, or problematic in some way. Even if what I was sensing was unconsciousness or unintended, I didn't need to let those signals in. I had a choice about it. I can let my own life, my own actions represent my truth. I could keep showing up and keep doing the work. That poison wasn't mine. So the action for today is Take a moment to reflect on my father's example and write about the ways you can measure your own value by who you are and what you have. What are the things that make up your foundation? And I will let you take time to think and reflect on that and see what answer you come up with. And I will come up with mine, but I will actually answer the second part. But before I read the second part, she puts in quotes, for whatever effort you make and wherever you get yourself, there may be people who will accuse you of having taken shortcuts or of being unworthy. They'll have an arsenal of phrases, affirmative action, or scholarship kid, or gender quota, or diversity hire, and they'll use them as weapons of disdain. This message is deeply familiar. I don't see you as being entitled to what you've got. All I can say is don't listen. Don't let that poison inside. My own temperament is different from my father's. I can be less abiding. I'm not able to shrug off unfairness quite the way he did, nor do I necessarily consider that a goal for myself. In my memoir, Becoming, I wrote about how casually my high school guidance counselor seemed to brush aside my aspirations within 10 minutes of meeting me, suggesting that I shouldn't bother applying to Princeton, since as she saw it, I was not Princeton material. I was hurt and angry, destroyed not just by her words, but by the indifference and speed with which they were delivered. She looked at me, evaluated me, and seen none of my light, or that's how it felt anyway. My path from that moment on would be shaped, at least in part, by that one remark, a single off the cut sentence uttered by a virtual stranger. How many of us remain in a one way dialogue with someone who deemed or diminished us even decades ago? How many of us are still silently talking back to that person who tried to erase us from a place we were trying to get to? We returned again and again to those moments, telling and retelling the story to ourselves, working hard to reattach ourselves to our pride. Those who diminished us live quietly in the margins of our minds, along with all our other despites, shrunk down by our excellence, the answers we've provided. They will be remembered only for what they failed to accomplish, only for what they gave us to step over. In a certain way, they become fuel for our light and part of our source code, but their only power, it turns out, is to remind us why we persist. You take what you have and you march it forward. You find your tools, adapt as needed, and carry on. You persevere, understanding that there are plenty of despites. Write down a time someone didn't believe in you or tried to diminish you in a fit of unfair expectation. How did you feel at that time? What did this contribute to the source code that drives you? To be honest, I haven't really dealt with a lot of people at least telling me to my face that I'm nothing or won't amount to nothing or whatever the case may be. There's only a handful of things or handful of times where I can think of some slight conversations like that. I will not lie. In my early my teenage years, I was very on the promiscuous side, and I did have a reputation. And so, a lot of the boys had came up with in their mind that I would be basically a sex worker in my adult life, and I really won't have anything to show for it. I'd be a stripper, a corn star, whatever the case may be. And I'm not gonna lie, I was this close to becoming a stripper in college. And honestly, I do not feel bad about that. I still think about being a stripper. Honestly, it low-key look a little fun, like. And I've had a pole in my house, and I've practiced. That stuff is hard work, but I don't look at stripping as this negative thing. But in the grand scheme of things, I did not like see that for myself as like a real career path. So I kind of, not to say that has stuck in my head since I was 18 or 17 or whatever the case may be, but I just knew that if I had the chance to get out of my hometown, to get out of certain environments, to get away from family, to get away from living in the hood, to get away from the drug dealing gangbanger boyfriends that I used to have, like, I just knew my life was going to be 10 times better. I just needed to leave home. I had the plan, baby. I just needed the platform. I just saw such a great life for myself. I envisioned what happiness looks like, what being a woman looked like, what togetherness looked like having my stuff together. I envisioned all of that, and I was nowhere near my home to do it. So here I am. I'm a 31-year-old. I'm pretty self-sufficient. I do not ask family for help. I do not ask friends for help. Like, I pretty much take care of myself. And outside of like people saying stuff to me, any type of negativity would have probably been from my own self-doubt. Like, I was not the best mentally growing up in the type of environment and household that I lived in. And to be honest, I was not supposed to make it this far. I was not supposed to make it this long. So here I am, a pretty decent life. Could be better, and it also could be worse. And I look at those boys that said those type of things to me, still in the hometown, just having a high school education, if they even graduated for real. They played on a football team. They swore they was gonna be big football players, and ain't, and wasn't. How many kids do they have out of wedlock? Like, nothing truly going on worthwhile. While I've continued to grow and do better than they probably thought I would ever do. So kudos to them for not believing in me. I made it for myself. So that is where we are going to leave off for the night, and we'll continue in this section and bouncing back and forth between the books. And I hope to see you tomorrow or whenever it is the next time I see you. I love when y'all comment on my TikTok and say y'all been watching, or y'all are heading to my YouTube to come look at my stuff. I really do appreciate y'all that are saying that or being vocal, or y'all that aren't saying it at all. Obviously, I see the views and stuff. I can't see who's viewing stuff, and I can't see who likes stuff. I can only, see who comments on things. But if you're interacting, if you're engaging, if you care what's going on in my life, I appreciate you for being here, and I appreciate you for listening. See you on the next round.